We started off with 4, and now there is only 1. The Revell 144th scale series comes to an end with this, the Eurofighter JF90. Well, hello everybody, and here we are at the last of the kits that I picked up in the Revell 144th scale series of aircraft from eBay. And if you were to tell me before I started that I would be faced with a complete jumble of miscellaneous origins and different qualities, I would have believed you entirely. It's exactly what I expected. There have been no surprises here. But for this last one, we are looking at the Eurofighter JF90. And you may be wondering what a JF90 is. Well, good. If you Google it, you come up with this kit, and that is about it. This was actually released before the Eurofighter was, and I believe it was Revell just trying to jump on the hype of a new European fighter. So it's the general shape of a Eurofighter, but it is not one that was ever produced. The price on the front, £2.89, is the same as on all of the others. That is, of course, not what I paid for it. I paid about £6 once you break it down, including P&P from eBay. We have some dimensions over here. It tells us this is an illustration d'un avion, and it's got a product code of 04074. On this edge, a little clue that this is not actually a production Eurofighter is that it tells you here, plane of the future, because of course it hadn't flown at this time. We have the paints required for a basic finish, which is just 2 of them, 75 and 79. On this edge we have some basic details about what's included, so paints and cement are not, a big barcode and a copyright date of 1989, and this was made in Korea apparently. And the shop edges are both exactly the same, with this artwork on one side, Eurofighter JF90, product code, and it tells you it's a skill level 2, just to show you, there it is on the other side. And the skill levels are explained on the back, which is bog standard Revell for this era, which is the blue box era, of just number of parts. That is it. And some other miscellaneous kits that you may or may not be interested in, and a sticker right over the other parts, such as the cement and paints. With all that aside, I've already cut this open. Let's see what we are faced with. To get this out of the way, we're going to just remove this. This is the bog standard Revell security text telling you where not to insert the model. That's it, just a wall of text. In here will be the decals. You can see them already falling out. So let's have a little look. There is probably some protective paper. No? No? Apparently there's no protective paper like there normally is, so it's just decals in with the instructions. We have the same copyright date as we saw on the box, 1989. Printed in Italy by Revell. There's an instrument panel type decal, 1, 4 and 5. EFA. And Eurofighter written down there. These are the multinational roundels. I really like these. There's something quite fun about them. So it's the 4 countries that were part of the Eurofighter project. They're combined roundels, decorated demonstrators and things like that. Even though this aircraft, as far as I'm aware, is not actually one that was built, it is still a nice little touch that they've put it in this demonstrator scheme. Very nice. They look fine. Obviously we won't really know until we make it, and it's entirely possible that they've been in this box since 1989, so they might fall apart. But hopefully they don't, because I'd quite like to do a good job of this one. Oh, and it always amuses me that the instructions are often printed in good quality paper, relatively, and this is just in that cheap fish and chip shop newspaper. Anyway, instructions. Okay, they've folded out. Do they fold out again? They have folded out again. Bearing in mind, that's how big the kit is. Revell have put in their comically large instructions. So, one large sheet of paper. On the front we have printed in Poland, so we've got decals made in Italy, instructions printed in Poland. Definitely an international kit. Again, just some warnings. They've already included an entire separate sheet for warnings, but you have another one. It tells you roughly how to apply the decals. Not really, it just says soak and apply. Some basic symbols for constructing the kit, and the paints required in full rather than just the 2 on the box. So we've got anthracite, which is basically black, white, metallic grey, grey, light grey and greyish blue. And then there's the address at the bottom should you have an issue. Right, construction itself, I hope, is here. We have an interior So already we're better than the last kit I looked at. We have a little bucket seat type interior with an instrument panel. That is it. Fuselage half goes together. There is no mention of any weight, so it's either going to sit on its backside or it's balanced enough that it won't need any. I'm just trying to see where the wheels are relative to centre of gravity. We'll have to wait until we're building it, won't we, really? There is step 2, fuselage half going together with the exhausts. Step 3 is basically building the plane. Step 4 and 5 are undercarriage, either up or down. And then step 6 is a mass of weapons, just everything. And step 7 is more weapons. We've got missiles. That's it. Built in 7 steps, and even then, one of them you wouldn't likely build because it's wheels up. Oh no, hang on, it's not quite wheels up, is it? No, sorry, it doesn't give you an option for wheels up. I'm an idiot, I completely misread that. It's wheels down, there is no option for wheels up. It's just that's the nose wheel and some other bits, and then that's the main undercarriage. Sorry, that was my bad. That was me not reading things properly. There's no wheels up option included. I'm sure you could, but it's not mentioned. And then 6 and 7 are the weapons. Step 8 is the paint scheme and decals. That's not overly helpful. It's D, F, and E. So what we've got, a two-tone grey. The top of the wings is D. Everything underneath the plane is E. What's D, F, and E? This is such a faff. D, over here, D, F, and E. So grey, light grey. No, grey and greyish blue over light grey. Because it's D and F over E. Is that right? Yeah, D and F over E. So it's that one, grey, 57, and 79 over 75. And that's it. Plane built, done. Here is a copy of all the security text that they provided a separate sheet for on 2 pages. So of the instructions, half of it they've actually sent you twice, and the building of the plane is there. That's it. Something tells me this will not take long to build. So I need to cut open the bag as everything is sealed inside here, and then we can have a look at the plastic parts. We are faced with 2 grey, I was going to say mid-grey plastic sprues and 1 clear, which is just the canopy. We're having a look at that first. It has just been chucked in the same bag as everything else, which is not the greatest. It's liable to be scratched. I can't see any scratching, but you can kind of see there the way the light's reflecting, but I can't see that with my naked eye. I can only see it on the camera. It's not massively clear because it's quite thick for the scale. Not that it really matters, but yeah, that's fine. It's not the most professionally made, is it? It's a bit basic. Let's get to the good bits. We have a fuselage half, the starboard half in this case. EFA 90. There is no flash whatsoever that I can see. Down here it's a little bit rough, but I don't think that's necessarily flash. It looks like it's, yeah, unsure. Just down here, not quite sure what that is. Sort of overlaps a little bit, but I'm not sure what it is. This is the interior. That interior lump there. We have the canard planes. And the rest of this, well, almost the rest of it, is weapons. Very sort of nondescript weaponry, isn't it? It doesn't look like anything in particular. It's just, what shape's a missile? That shape. Cool. And we've got the wheel hubs here as well, the wheels. They're rather nice. Nicely detailed. Yeah, it looks all right. It's fine. Onto this bit, we have the other fuselage half, the port side. As you can see, nice recessed panel details. They look fine. We have, I should probably mention this more often, we have locating pins, exactly what you'd expect for Revell. The vertical stabilizer is just on one side, so it'll go like that. We've got holes for the weapon mounting point, so if you wanted a clean configuration, I don't think you could do it without some filling. And the wings are one piece. There's not a top and a bottom, it's just one piece, which in this scale is absolutely fine, but it does mean there would have been no option to give you the versatility of having both clean or loaded configurations. We also have undercarriage legs, which are very small. Look how tiny they are. Yes, minuscule, but fingers crossed, looks okay. And this is a very quick look, but it's a very simple plane. Also interesting to note that in terms of construction, this is not really any different to the F-15A that I looked at before, which I suspect was a 70s tooling. But this is almost twice the part count because they've given you so many bits of weaponry. So logically, the only way that you can make this to make it worth the money is chucking a load of weapons on it, which is fine. It's a demonstrator. If you wanted it to fly clean, I guess, tough. Mock weapons it is. Looking at scale mates, you can see that this is clearly the same basic kit, Eurofighter JF90. It's the same basic artwork, except it has the product code 4074. It lists the tool date as 1989, which actually matches the copyright date on all parts of the kit, which actually all collaborate with each other, which is quite refreshing to see. We have only one scheme included, which is this one. And if you look at the product timeline, you can see that it had a new box at some point, which is the new product code 04074. So that's clearly what this one is whenever this rebox was released, but it is a 1989 tool. It is important to note that this is in no way related to the 2010 release of the Eurofighter, which states here, Eurofighter Typhoon single-seater. This is based on the actual Typhoon that entered service, you know, the production version, rather than the one which was 2007, or last released in 2007 as a model set, which is this one, even though it says Eurofighter Typhoon. So that's Revell being a little bit misleading. So if you buy any one from 2010 that is listed as Eurofighter Typhoon and has any sort of artwork like this, then you've got the new toolkit. And if you have anything which has the JF90 or a demonstrator type Eurofighter on the box, then you've got this kit. It was also released in 2001 as part of their Magic Flight series, which used actual literal magic to levitate plastic models. Interesting, considering that this kit does not tell you, at least the instructions don't tell you how to make it with the undercarriage up. I assume they changed the instructions given that you need to fit the actual magic inside the kit anyway. So there we go. All in all, it looks like it's going to be a simple build of an interesting, if essentially fictional, aircraft. I will endeavour to do it in the colours that it suggests, or find an equivalent, because Revell colours are a little bit of a pain anyway. I imagine the reason why this hasn't been re-released in a long time is simply because it didn't exist. I imagine people are more interested in the Eurofighter as a production aircraft rather than as a future project, which is what this particular release shows. I do think it is a little bit misleading. I can see why they would jump on the bandwagon of trying to release something new. It's like when Airfix made the Concorde, for example, and the Concorde wasn't even flying at the time. They sort of just went and made a model of something that they hoped would look about right. Or something like the Jetstream that they did as well, where the engines are the prototype example, so you're actually very limited as to what you can do. I can see why they would be interested in doing that, but personally I think they should have just waited and then just released the Eurofighter. But hey, whatever, who knows? We don't know exactly what sort of sales figures they had for these, and it now makes a bit of an oddity. It's something a little bit different. I've not featured a price section for this because you can only get it secondhand. It's going to be on auction websites and they're a little bit all over the place. But if we say between £5 and £10, you can pick up something like this. Fine, whatever. We'll see if it's worth it once I've made it. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and you can let me know in the comments below if you've made this kit, if you like it, or if you think it's a bit of a waste of time, given that it's a bit time-locked if you like. You can also become a channel member, like the people appearing on screen. These people get cheeky little spoilers and other bonus content as and when I just feel like it, to be honest, including lovely little emojis that people don't use as much as they should. I think every chat should have one of my tiger moth emojis in it. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there because I'm going to go and build a Eurofighter JF90. Hopefully see you again sometime soon.